Blizzard are ruining a good thing. Tell me something I don't know. Insane new tool in development and patch notes. Okay. Let's see what Bellular has to say. Is this clickbaity or are they really ruining
Welcome
something?
back, everyone. I hope you're doing well. And today I've got a spicy edition of the news because the big business brains behind World of Warcraft have graced us with multiple new consumption occasions. We've also got a clearer
He might be
look
talking about
at Dream
augmentation
Surge
evoker
rewards,
getting
and we're
wrecked.
seeing a lot more of 10.17 actually shape up. And over at Warcraft Logs, they are developing a new tool that honestly is an utter game changer and will absolutely solve a major problem that World of Warcraft is going to run into in the future.
Okay.
Developers.
And of course, as you know, we're
Ballmer was fucking insane, man. Ballmer was insane. If you guys don't know, that was the old CEO of Microsoft. That guy, he'd be tripping. He owns the Clippers now in the NBA, so he's living a good life.
Game Studio, we made a game, and right now it's 25% off, and that ends tomorrow.
He's still
we also
insane,
dropped our free epilogue
is.
DLC update, so that's there. Of course, the Steam ratings are all nice and high, which we're all chuffed about. So you can check out the Pale Beyond on Steam if you want to help us out and get some narrative survival adventure goodness.
So they make a class to buff others, and then basically it will turn into another DPS class. Yeah, what a joke. Yeah, basically. I think they're using their pullout game. They're pulling out on what they originally did.
They've done it. They have finally put Trader's Tender on the store, this time in the limited time Corsage pack. This leaves the store at the end of August, so in 1 month. And it includes 2 new flower corsages, plus a bonus.
I just don't get it. I honestly can't tell if this is a slap to the balls or whether or not adding the Trader's Tender with the corsages. I think they should have just put the Trader's Tender up and said, fuck it. This is how much you pay. You want the 200, you pay that much. I don't know why I feel like adding the wrist flowers is like is like a fuck you. I don't know why. I just feel I feel like very dicked over by the fact that they're throwing the flowers in with it.
200 tendies, yeah. Now, while they have technically done this before via items that would later be added to the trading post,
Like,
so
let's throw the flowers in there, maybe they won't get
now,
pissed.
you will save tendies later, assuming you want to buy everything. This is actually the first time that tendies themselves have directly dropped from a store item. And this time it's actually both, because the 2 flower corsages will also hit the store later. And that means it's time for some maths. Our last wrist flower thingy cost 100 tenders. Here we're getting 2 of them, plus 200 tender for $5 US. That's 400 tendies worth of value for $5, meaning 100 tender costs $1.25, which is quite similar to the 100 premium currency to 1 United States dollar that most currency-based cash shops, like in D4, like in Overwatch 2, roll with. Now, of course, you cannot buy tender directly. You can only do it through bundles. And you can only buy this bundle once, right? It's not like you can just go and buy 5,000 tendies and have all the stuff, which was really the main thing we were worried about in the past.
Sure.
So this is in line with what Ian said before. Ish. So whenever these assets were data mined, right, everyone got worried because...
Yeah, see, this is a gateway drug. We've seen this happen before. Right, look, they put all these little symbols here in the game, right? And they only use the 200 one right now, but this is a sign that, look at this stack. Look at this beautiful artwork. Look at this, 1,000. You think they're going to let this shit go to the waste? No, it's coming, boys. It's coming. Get ready to buy your tendies, yeah. They
kind of looked like, the gem store in a mobile game. But shortly after, speaking to GameSpot, Ian said they wouldn't be sold directly, and I'll just quote him directly. This is what Ian said. It shouldn't be too far-fetched to imagine we might have some significant bundles coming up later this year that may include some tender as a part of them. Okay, so a bunch of people are kind of accusing Ian of lying, and they're not particularly...
Damn, E30, thank you so much, man, for the sub. Thank you so much for using your Prime sub here. Death Knight of our Scourge, I appreciate that.
Happy about this. And ultimately, this hinges on the specific words used. Ian said, quote, significant bundle. Now, that made most people think of the likes of a deluxe edition or the BlizzCon virtual ticket.
That's what I thought.
Perhaps you could say...
I even thought maybe it would come with the 6-month sub bundle or something like that. But he said significant bundle. I didn't think we were going to get little wrist flowers here. Little corsages. Get ready for prom again. You're gonna blue ball.
First, the 6-month subscription. A $5 bundle that has 200 of them, to people that doesn't feel like a significant bundle, right?
Yeah.
It feels like an excuse to test the waters of having some tendies directly coming from the store. And then also thinking back to the Guardian bundle they had a little bit in the past, I think it does seem clear that Blizzard intends to have a large quantity of lower cost bundles. Things that I suppose might actually be called microtransactions, because $25, I don't think that's micro for a transaction. Anyway, so to me it seems clear that Blizzard will have a high quantity of low-cost bundles that, from now on will likely include Tender. I suppose it's one of those things. Take a look at the various different the kind of like more, 100 to 200 Tender costing items that are really useful for loads of transmogs. So imagine a bunch of cloaks bundled together, plus a bunch of Tender. Seems like that's the kind of thing they'll want to do. Now, this is especially relevant because there's actually more in the way of time-limited deals. Because here, we've got a $15 paid transmog set that right now, at least based on the reactions online, most people seem to think that it's so pedestrian-looking.
This is the thing. I don't get why they made... Okay, they're going to paid transmog, whatever. That shit's going to happen. It happened already with those 3 helms, if you don't remember when we got those. Now they've been on the trading post. And they came in through Amazon gifts 1 month for the subs. But anyways, why does this one look so shitty? If you're going to give us a paid transmog set, at least put some effort into it. I don't understand why this is the... Who the hell wants this?
But it's absurd for $15 that even a lot of the people who are usually store stands, they're complaining about it.
Even the whales don't like it,
what's wild here is that this actually will be rotated into the Tender store in the future. It's leaving the game at the end of August. Now, the thing is, the in-game promotional image didn't actually make it clear, at least initially, that it was going to be later available in the Tender store. And of course, this is also a time-limited thing ending August 31st. And I've got to say, $15 for that doesn't feel right. Now, some more money for the Flame Plume Regalia, like, I sort of get that. At least it feels premium. It comes with a bunch of variations.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. If you're going to pay money for a transmog, you at least want to look like, you got a swinging dick. Not this. This? What the hell is this? I don't understand. This looks like some gray items you could have gotten from from the Dead Mines or something. But this, this is like you're a Fire Lord, you got your feathers, you're out there, you're ready to, you're showing off that you got paid and you're ready to get laid. This is fine. I don't understand what they were thinking with the other set, though.
The Flame Plume Regalia, like, I sort of get that. At least it feels premium. It comes with a bunch of variations and that sort of thing. This, though, looks like leveling gear from the next expansion, and I think that changes some of the player perception. Now, to be clear, if this looked amazing, then we would be having the argument of, oh, why is all the cool stuff
that's true. We're always
in the store? Right? That's a different argument. It's not what's happening today. Right now, the thing is that this feels like the concept of nickel and diming, because a store containing something that clearly looks like it's made for the store, that to people feels like, the Lego blocks fit together. It makes sense, right? That's one discussion. But if it feels like assets have been pillaged to make a quick buck, that feels egregious. That feels like nickel and diming. That feels like you've just grabbed some leveling gear from the next expansion.
Honestly, you want to know what it looks like to me? It looks like they had a company goal set back in fucking January that they had to put some set on the store for $15, and the team kind of forgot it or slipped their minds, or they were busy doing other shit, and they were like, "Oh my god!" They had an emergency teams meeting. They're like, "Oh, Greg, shit, we got to get a set on the fucking store right now for $15. And Tim's like, "I don't know what we're gonna do. We didn't do anything. You remember that set that we made for that fucking random dungeon for the next expansion? Let's just throw it on there. They won't know a difference. It's $15. Fuck it. All right, uploading it now." I don't know why they're in Irvine, California. Why I gave them Southern accents, I have no idea. But there it is. I think that's what happened.
Leftover idea from BFA, level up, and you've just thrown it into the game now for $15, just to see if people will bite. So overall, I think one thing is clear then.
Anybody who bought that, I don't know how to
retaining players well, right? We've consistently heard about that, and the content cadence has been terrific. But it's an expansion that did not expand the game's reach. as Blizzard themselves have seemingly even said in those earnings calls, right? It didn't get all the sales, but the people who are here are sticking around more. Now, the thing is, in the middle of an expansion cycle, you still want to be making money. So if you cannot readily increase your revenue via growing your quantity of customers, which is very hard to do in the middle of an expansion, then obviously you want to increase your revenue by increasing your average user spend.
Yeah. That's true. You're not going to really gain any users at this point in the expansion. Anyone who isn't subbed right now is waiting for the next expansion. So what do you got to do at this point? You got to milk the teat of your whales. Milk that teat. That's the only thing you can do at this point. So yeah, coming out with some store items. Best option to increase revenue.
There are various different cohorts of users in World of Warcraft. Things like this are not targeted toward the cohorts that cluster their spend around new expansions and then just wander off for a bit. This is for the people who are just sticking with the game through all of time. Now, even to look at Call of Duty, it's recently started doing this as well. I just bring it up because it's another Activision Blizzard product. So the Call of Duty games actually launch with very limited monetization. I think most recently it was just a cosmetic bundle that went to the Call of Duty Endowment charity, right? Now, though, they have their Black Cell battle passes. I'll spare you all the gory details. Suffice to say, though, they've utterly surged that game's revenue. So basically, expect to see, when we're in the mid-expansion cycle, the same thing, just a different implementation, and seemingly tendies.
It seems like a good strategy, honestly. Like a company-wide strategy is they come out with the expansion with limited store items. You know, not that, because they don't want people to focus on that. They just want you to play the expansion, right? This isn't a microtransaction game. This is just a game where you buy the game and you get the content. And then once you've got everybody you can possibly have, now you hook them up to the teat milkers and you start pumping. You start pumping. And you get as much milk out of them as you can because you're not going to get any more whales in your farm at that point, right? So once you have as many whales as you can get, now you start dropping the microtransactions and you start milking that shit. You milk that shit as hard as you can. That's it. That's the best. That's the revenue strategy. That's how it works. That's how a lot of these games are rolling it out now.
Are the way they can do it. Now, for our next story, I swear to you, this is not just WoW News Tendy Edition, but this is actually relevant. We have got a whole bunch of new class sets. Yeah, new class sets being added to World of Warcraft that come along with weapons. A lot of them look amazing, but they
Can I just say that the Death Knight set looks like shit? I'm going to be honest, it looks like shit. I'm very happy with these. I like the fact that they're adding these in. I think they're awesome. They're very cool. I love class-specific armor like this. It's awesome. And I'm very happy they did it. But the Death Knight one looks like shit. It just does. It's got like just fucking rotting skin all over it. This literally looks like a dick. Like a rotted dick. I don't know. Who's going to want to run around with a rotting dick on their waist? I have no idea, but there it is. This set for I think this is the Druid one. Amazing. Amazing.
Added to the trading post. So what you get is one thing, which is a set of a helm, shoulder, and waist for each class, along with a set of weapons.
I thought you would like that.
The weapons
but not I want a regular dick. I don't want a rotting dick.
The armor sets cost $450. Does it feel a bit bizarre that it's not a full armor set?
Some of them look really cool.
I feel like Blizzard's
and the weapons look good.
Is that these can be mixed and matched with other bits of gear in the game, and certainly I saw a r/wow thread going around of people who seemingly had transmogged existing bits of gear into the game with these new sets, and it did all look quite good, so I imagine that's all quite intended from them. Here's the deal, though. These will be coming out at a rate of 3 classes per month for 3 months, and then the final 4 classes...
The Warrior one reminds me of Scarlet Monastery, which is
happening in December, right? And this starts as of September. Now, to add up the total Tendy cost, that is 12,350
like trash. It's got flies flying
sort of additional tender happening over those 4 months, not including any other things that will be there. Obviously, you're getting 1,000 tender a month from just, like your normal stuff in the game.
Yeah.
Which does make me think about bundles. Now, there will be other things coming. As an example, 2 Felcor mounts have been data.
I gotta have
those
these.
Cost 700 tendies each.
I gotta have these. I'm gonna buy them for sure. I'm gonna buy them, the blue one and the red one. Unbelievable. I love this shit.
When I think back to Ian's quote, he said, quote, significant bundles. That obviously makes me think of pre-orders of deluxe editions or, heroic and epic editions, as Blizzard calls them.
That's what I thought, for sure.
And pre-orders are major for a company, right? Because one of the things that matters, yes, your overall revenue is great, but cash flow, getting cash now to deploy it. That's big.
Yeah.
You want to pull your money in right now. That's why pre-orders are pretty big for a company like Blizzard. And WoW expansion pre-purchases coming.
Pre-orders are essentially a tickle of the teat, right? You're getting some of that in the beginning. I don't know why this has become such a teat-filled, this has become a titty video, but that's what it is, essentially, is you've secured the teat, you've locked the teat in, and investors love that. They're like, oh, look at all the teats that are ready to be milked. Look at that. They're so excited. They're so excited that they've already locked their teats in. That's essentially what a pre-order is, and companies love that.
With
it's instant revenue plus forecasted
races
revenue.
and things like that we've had in the past. Those are super powerful because you pre-order the game, but you get shit now. And that means you can actualize your post-BlizzCon excitement. Now, with 11.0 being announced this BlizzCon, and of course they're likely, being a virtual ticket, and also this swell in store content causing, traders tender store content causing some, tendy hunger, right? There's a lot of things in the store. You only get 1,000 tendies a month, so people will want more. Because of all this, I would expect big tender bundles.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Going back to the class sets, I think it's a shame that these aren't coming from content like, say, a new Mage Tower experience or maybe something that is tied to the class halls. I think that the tender store is great when it's maybe older content or it's clearly like visual options that just kind of makes sense for a store. But when it's something like this, like class sets, that does start to make me think that this should be more of an in-game content reward. Now, to finish off the Tendy news, it's August. That does mean that there's another 200 Tendies up for grabs this month, with the previously unobtainable 2008 Olympic event pet, the Ethereal Transmogrifier, which is a TCG toy, and the Alabaster WoW Classic Collector's Edition mounts headlining the store. That being said, my favorites this time are easily the red and blue cloak, hood, and scarves, as well as the Guard and Grunt shields. Also, the monthly Capstone Blood Troll set, that looks incredible. Very solid month, and it would be...
If I was a troll, I'd be going for this. 100%.
Controversially so, if we weren't being nickel and dimed with the likes of the Corsage bundle. Whew, okay, we've just talked about stores and things and transactions for a while, so let's talk about the game with patch 10.1.7. Alright, Dream Surge is their New World event. They bring both endgame things to do as well as up to a 50% increase in the XP gained while you're in the zone that is impacted by the Dream Surge. That's all very nice. We've talked about it before.
Wow, so these are going to be a great way to level your alts before the next expansion then. Holy crap. I mean, if you're an alt person, these are wet Dream Surges for you because it seems like that much XP, you could literally just grind these things out and level cap a bunch of alts before the next expansion. Damn.
We'll probably do a proper roundup video
of so many ways to level
how they
alts
actually play out. For the news, though, a nice thing's happened in that the vendors have been added, selling item level 402 Dreambound armor, jewelry, and weapons, all upgradable to item level 424, as well as what will likely be a mount and 2 pets. But that's not actually all, because there's another vendor that sells level 415 Dreambound armor, weapons, and jewelry that is on the champion track rather than the veteran track, meaning that it could go all the way up to 437. That is indeed very strong, and all of this gear is Catalyst compatible as well, and that does mean that it's actually a pretty damn terrific way for you to unlock your Aberrus transmogs, and given how you can go to the Forbidden Reach and use that to quickly unlock a bunch of your Season 1 transmogs, I imagine then, whenever Season 3 kicks in, you'll still be able to do all your Dream Surges and stuff to more rapidly unlock those Aberrus, tier sets. Those visuals on your character. Now, the 402 gear costs you Dream Surge Coalescence. This is a kind of more like dime a dozen, very frequent currency.
How many fucking currencies are we going to have, honestly? I used to know every currency in the game. I think that ended in after Wrath of the Lich King, because I can't keep up with this shit anymore. We got Cum Surge currency. We got fucking a bunch of crests, 36. We got 10 different crests now. We got a bunch of different currencies for creating epic weapons through your professions, and then we got a bunch of other shit that plus the gold, the silver, everything else, and then. I don't know what to do anymore with all this shit. I don't even know what it's called. Honestly, I just look at the logo now. I'm like, do I have any? I literally go to a shop and I'll open it up. I'm like, how many of these green thingies do I have? I can't even remember the names of all of them anymore.
that you basically get from doing anything in a Dream Surge.
Currency is
As an
better than
example,
inventory
when a
blow. That's true. The crests are a bit annoying in the bags. I'm not going to
Dream
lie.
Surge is active, all of the rares in a zone
Yeah, do I have enough
are
green cum?
empowered,
Exactly.
right? And that makes them drop.
Oh, we need a green jizz for this? How much of green jizz do I have? Okay, not enough. I guess I go get some green jizz from somewhere else.
Essence, Whelpling fragments, and some 402 gear. Then also
I can't keep up
the
with it.
champion track gear, that costs 1 Dream Surge Chrysalis. Now currently...
There's a currency within the currency. This is what I'm talking about. You got the green cum, and then you got your... What is this? What do you call it? I don't even know. This is just a green ovary? What the fuck?
The intro and weekly quests give one of those each. But, who knows? There could be other ways of getting that. And in a really lovely touch, these are actually account bound. And that does mean that you can gear your alts up to item level
now
437,
I can have all the
which will
currencies
really
across all
help
my
you crush
accounts, but I
out
don't
the
even know
final
what they
Season
are.
2 goals and also get ready for Season 3. So that's all very good indeed. And another thing, we don't exactly know what the costs are going to be finally, but there is a way to get some worm crests, which are the ones from Heroic, right? So that's pretty good. And there'll be a way of getting those as well via the Dream Surges. Overall then, pretty good. And I've got another nice thing for alts, but it won't be as powerful as last time because it's not coinciding with a bonus XP event, and that is the Turbulent Time Waves.
Oh, yeah.
This is where we're going to be getting 6 weeks of back-to-back time walking, starting off with Wrath. Now, chances are this will be live in the 6 weeks before patch 10.2 drops. It'll be a great source of heroic Aberrus gear because, yes, they make that gear heroic whenever it's a Turbulent Time Waves event, and also plenty of XP for your alts. I mean, yes, there's no plus 50% XP to make the leveling extremely fast, but man, even just doing Legion and WoD dungeons and time walking, you get so much XP so quickly from 60 to 70. But of course, you will also be getting potentially your XP bonuses in the Dream Surge zones. Those, I believe, are a baseline of 25%, and I think they can go as high as either 40 or 50, depending on what players do in that zone. So those will also be a very fast...
If you stack that shit with the rested XP too, you freaking fly through this leveling stuff.
Way to level. And the funny thing is, there's actually a lot going on in the game because we've got the Secrets of Azeroth event, we've got the Kalimdor Grand Prix, we've got Brewfest all coming soon, and the likes of Brewfest have got some pretty nice looking...
This is some of the best Brewfest... It is, actually, the best Brewfest gear they've ever had. I've never seen anything like this for Brewfest. This shield is amazing.
So
if you're a monk warrior and you don't have this shield, you're playing the game wrong. Yeah, it's a shield. It's freaking unbelievable.
Actually, yeah, a fair bit going on. Now, do you want some goggles? Legit, look at all of these goggles.
Yeah, all
these
the goggles.
are the old engineering goggles that will now be available as cosmetic rewards from the new profession achievements that are coming in 10.17. Previously, right, these were locked to armor and profession, and that meant that if you just wanted a certain color for transmog purposes, you kind of couldn't really do that. But now, no matter what, you'll be able to wear the one that you like.
They're getting ready for that Microsoft
they basically
money,
unlock as a collection with all of the different colors. Just a good example of, I don't know, just a nice little tweak, I suppose. Finally,
can't you make a monk warrior? Do they not have warrior?
Riding and Dawn of the Infinite Heroic Testable, we are surely very close to the release of this patch. But next, a surprising move. All right, Warcraft logs are actually developing a more accurate damage meter overlay. And I say overlay, not add-on, because it's not an add-on. Right now, add-ons like Details actually cannot show augmentation evokers properly because they don't read the combat logs, right? It works differently. So what Warcraft Logs has made then is not an add-on, it's an overlay, and it's available via either their uploader or companion desktop applications. Basically, it's a bit like Act in FF14, if you have that as a sort of touchstone. Anyway, the way it works is you can just have it on another screen, or you can put it as an overlay on top of World of Warcraft. Now, this is quite big. This is the true damage numbers that are going on, which is important for quite a few reasons. Number one, right? It's way more accurate than other damage meters. That's just neat. Also, it has a built-in network effect. This is better. Lots of people use Warcraft logs.
Yeah.
The more people that use this overlay, well, the more people will, be having like actual good, accurate numbers in game.
It becomes more
That'll,
accurate
of course,
the more
feed
people
back into
use
Warcraft logs. So it's all very smart, all very good.
Damn.
And in fairness to Warcraft logs, like the development work that they've been doing lately and loads of features is really fantastic. But I think the major thing here for me is
some
that
significant shit. How do these guys make money? That's some intense coding there going on. That this shit's like it's working better the more people use it.
Augmentation Evoker is probably not going to be the
Freaking
last
adapting.
support thing added to WoW, right? People want their bards, they want their tinkers, they maybe want additional specs to existing classes. And if those things are going to be support, then I do think that the community having access to a damage...
I thought we were going to go like more into support and get things like tinkers and shit like that, but I feel like Blizzard's already walking back the support class. They're trying to funnel more damage through the Augmentation Evoker with like the nerfs that we just saw today that they dropped. They're trying to funnel more damage through the Evoker itself and less through the buffing. So I feel like they're already walking back the whole thing about, oh, we're going to get more classes like this. I feel like they don't like it. It's hard for them to balance or something.
Meter-like tool that is actually displaying that stuff accurately.
It probably works.
Yeah, I think that is an important resource for us to have. So, amazing job, Warcraft logs. Keep it up.
Yeah, I think they're having trouble
Next,
balancing
though,
it.
I'll just roll through the other live stories. Number 1, the Trial of Style is back. You can do it now. It's complete with new items, cosmetic hats, belts, boots, plus a dagger and a gun. Kinda neat stuff, even though, rather insanely, the next time it's going to come back is 2024. Because the timing of the Trial of Style in-game is absolutely mad. I don't know what they're smoking. It should be monthly. Castle Nathria LFR appeared in-game, but then was quickly removed because it was a bug. The Amber Blade quest item now has a higher chance to drop from Time Rifts, which will help you get a few rewards and also finish off your achievement. And to finish today's news off with something that's actually just goddamn wacky and hilarious, if not a bit sad, Hearthstone has a new time-limited bundle for 3 cards that cost $50.
Damn.
$50 for 3 cards. Yes,
Holy
I'm
crap.
not lying. This isn't a goof.
Of all the games Blizzard makes, Hearthstone's got to be the most money, grubbing. Like, I think you can really drop a shit ton of money into Hearthstone. And to be competitive, you, legit have to. But it's insane how much people will pay for some of this shit. They're not even... It's a digital card. I'd drop $50 on Pokemon cards, maybe. This shit? What the hell?
That's what it is. That's the full price of a full video game that perhaps dozens or hundreds of developers worked on for 3 years. No!
You get 3 cards.
3 cards in Hearthstone, where you will get a Diamond Hell Yeah Legendary, 1 random Titan signature legendary card, and a random Festival of Legends signature legendary card. Dear Lord, that is absolutely mad.
The Yu-Gi-Oh card you want
if you want to, as they put it, shine.
I feel like there's something to, okay, you want the Yu-Gi-Oh card. I feel like it's tangible. Like, you can hold it, you can feel it. This is a fucking piece of digital code. That's $50. What the hell?
The brightest Titan Forge creation with this bundle of 3 premium
NFT,
quality legendary cards you can. And at 30% value, as the graphic lets you know, that is a true steal. And hey, here's an idea. How about, right? Oh, I've solved it. Bobby, give me that check. Why don't we have a value percentage labeled on the Corsage bundle? Because right now it implies that $1 equals 125 tender, and that's overly generous from the industry average of $1 equaling 100 premium currency, right? I mean, we'd rather divide things by 10, easier for our smooth brains to understand.
True.
So, how about we say the Corsage bundle is actually plus 25% value? And that way, you're actually getting 400, for the price of 400 tendies, you're actually getting 500 plus 25% value. There you go. I'm a marketing genius. Yeah, and with this master stroke, tenders are now worth more money and customers get a better deal. Nice. Does that not sound like magic? Okay, that's it for the WoW news. Bit unfortunate that today it had to be so many news-related things. But I suppose speaking of consumption opportunities, we had a daily deal. We were featured by Steam last week, so if you want to pick up the Pale Beyond at 25% off, I think today is the last day of that sale. We also just had the epilogue update, which has a kind of ridiculous number of like different, like endings and stuff for the core cast members. So if you finish the game, this is all scenes that take place after you finish the game, where you'll get to find out what happened to everybody based on how you played the game and the decisions that you made. And if you would also like to support our team with the likes of the, collector's edition that has cool things like our sort of table stand.
Valular always has great collector's shit.
And of course our art book. You can check out store.valular.games.
His collector's edition,
and
his Patreon
that's what's
shit.
going on. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time.
Well, that was fucking depressing. And a lot of teat milking going on there. And wow, okay.